Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the all-new generation for the 2024 Mercedes Benz E350. Huge shout out to Mercedes Benz Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. So this all-new E350 is finished off in black with an MSRP just over $71,000. And underneath the hood, this model is powered by the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo. It's now paired with a 48-volt hybrid electric system. Paired to the 9-speed automatic, it makes 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the FOURR all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,200-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in just over 6 seconds. It has a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.4 gallons. You'll expect to see around 24 miles per gallon in the city, 33 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 116.6 inches. Its overall length is 194.9. It has a width of 73.7 and a height of 57.9 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for the all-new generation for this E-Class, like I said, this has a brand new exterior design as well as interior design and some features too. So up front, let's start off with the grille, which has the chrome surround to it. Mercedes-Benz logo is also the sensor. There's a forward-facing camera, and then more chrome accents within the entire grille. There's plenty of cutouts too to provide a lot of cooling. In the lower section, you'll notice the chrome trim accent as well as more cutouts. There's also the parking sensors and then the new headlight design. You'll notice all of the LED headlights, DRLs, turn signals, of course. And then up top, there's only one Mercedes-Benz logo. So it's at the base of the hood here, where there's also very subtle lines coming down that hood just to give it that sleeker appearance for this luxury focused vehicle. Now, this particular model also has a few options on it. These larger wheels are an option. They have a very nice multi-spoke design to them with the AMG logo, of course. There's more chrome in the lower section of that side skirt as well as surrounding all of the window trim. This gets power folding side mirrors with the turn signal and a camera. There's also a full moonroof up top. And then looking at the options for this particular model, those 20-inch wheels are almost $2,000. We have some interior lighting options along with the lane keeping assist, winter package, and then the pinnacle trim is $3,400. I'm assuming that's some interior options that we will see here shortly. But we have some very nice elegant lines running down the side, including the flush design for these door handles. So when the vehicle is locked or in motion, they will be flush with the door handle. You can also unlock it, of course, and now grab that in order to gain access to the interior. The top of them is also finished off in chrome too. Now, as we work our way to the back, there's the Mercedes logo right in the middle. The flip-up backup camera is located just above that license plate. You'll notice the LED taillights and turn signals, and then the bar actually runs through that power liftgate, which is nice. There's all the parking sensors and then more chrome trim in the lower section there. Now you can use the button on the key fob or up underneath to gain access to the cargo space, where for the size of this vehicle, there's actually a lot of cargo space. There's also a hook up top where you can place some groceries or bags, and there's some storage bins on both sides to place additional items. Now you can actually fold down the back seats just by pushing on the controls on both sides to give yourself that much more interior storage, making this that much more practical. There's also storage underneath the floor too. So you can lift on this, and once I pull that up, you'll notice there's a large bin under there where you can place additional items. And then up top, you can close the trunk, or you can also lock the vehicle at the same time. Now, as we work our way to the interior, we'll just grab on that handle where we have the beige leather, which is a really nice contrast. So you'll see all of that along with the piano black. We have brushed aluminum accents. There's the Burmester audio, and then a little bit of storage down below and the grab handle there. And then at 5'10", hopping into the back now, I have a good bit of space with the front seat set at my height. We have some air vents, a little bit of storage there. And as far as headroom goes, I have about an inch or so with my hat on here. So honestly, I can sit upright and be comfortable in the back. Now, right in the middle, there's the armrest. And then when you push on this once, you get a little bit of space where you can put your phone or some other items. And then from what I've been told in other videos, there we go, you can actually push it slightly to have the cup holders pop out. So it's an interesting design, but you just kind of have to slightly push on that for it to come out. And then you can also fold down this middle seat individually if you would like. So if you want a little bit higher of an armrest or you need to gain access to the back, you have the option to do that. And then we have a good bit of visibility with the size of the windows there. And then up front, the door panel is just like the rear. However, we have the memory seating adjustments. There's also the heated seat controls. You have your side mirror adjustments, all of the window controls, and a trunk release and more storage down below. And then we have the same design for the front seats, of course. And now we can move on to the steering wheel, which is solid leather. We have some piano black along with more of the brushed accents. But let's start this up. That button's over on the right side. And we can move on to the tech features available. On this left side, there's all the cruise control settings as well as adaptive cruise. And then you have the controls above that for the digital gauge cluster. So let's push on home, where you can go through some different graphics depending on what you would like to see. If you go into classic, this is where you can scroll through some info within the middle there. So sport mode was fixed. Classic will give you a lot that you can scroll through. You even have your navigation, your service you can look at, and you can go into the head-up display and configure what you would like to be shown for that. You can even shut it off too. So pretty configurable to go through that. On the right side of the steering wheel, we have Bluetooth, your volume, as well as voice commands. There's a favorites. And then all of these controls here are for the brand new infotainment system. So they're identical to the controls on the left side. So when I push on home, it gets us to this screen here. And then you can use these controls to further swipe through all of that information. So we'll come back to the screen here shortly. You also have the stalk to put this into gear. So we have reverse, so you can pull up that camera along with the different guidelines. If you put the vehicle into drive, now you can go through the forward-facing camera and look at all of those angles. Neutral's right in the middle, and then park is going to be on the end of that stalk. Now on this left side, there's the e-brake. There's also the interior ambient lighting, some wood trim surrounding your headlight adjustments. And then we have that extended leather package for the entire dash. And for this all new infotainment system, it actually seems very easy to go through. So we have some of these icons that you can quickly scroll through. You can push on home to get back here. You can swipe down for any notifications or things like that. And then you have a shortcut for menu to get into where you'd like the air to go. There's also your fan speed, so you can quickly do that, along with your temperature that you can get into as well. You have some defrosters too. I think it's a lot more user-friendly with the information that is provided and how quickly you can swipe through all of this. You can even get into your massaging seats and your ambient lighting there as well. I think it's a great size and very easy to use. There's also the controls down below to get into the driving modes, so you can go through those as needed. We have a shortcut to the camera system, and then if you push on this vehicle button, this is how you can get into your head-up display. You can go into your manual shifting, and you have some other settings that you can go into and configure. So you can go through all of this depending on what you would like. You even have the Hey Mercedes voice command that you can use as needed. You have power, mute, and volume for your audio. And then there's wireless charging down below. You get a little bit of storage along with 2 cup holders. If you push on these, that's how they actually become a cup holder. So you can actually hide them out of the way if you have some bigger items. And then you can also close that up with more of the beautiful wood trim that's on the cover there. You have the split style for the armrest with an auxiliary. There's also storage in the lower section there. You have garage door buttons up top with your rear view mirror. And then there's also some call buttons on this back side. You have dome lights, and you have this control here where you just swipe your finger. It's not an actual button, and it will retract both of these sunshades, which is nice. And then you have a lot of visibility all around. So we have some large windows so you can easily see over both shoulders. As we set off now behind the wheel for the all new E-Class, it has been quite some time since I've been in the E-Class itself, but from what I've seen, the previous E-Class model had a lot of technology shared with other models, of course, so I'm familiar with all of that. What I'm unfamiliar with is being in the all new E-Class. So I really like the layout and the design of everything. I think this system and screen is a lot easier to go through. It's very user friendly. And now that we have a split style, the larger screen wasn't everyone's taste and style. Either way, I think they're both great, but I do think that this is much easier to use. And everything just has kind of a nice refinement and feel to it. But as far as driving the E-Class, let's put it into sport mode and let's allow us to use these paddle shifters as we come around this turn. Handling seems pretty good. And then not a bad amount of power. Now this is the 350. You can also get the E450, which is going to have more power. So just depending on what you want out of your vehicle, this doesn't seem all that bad, especially for the weight of this sedan. And it's not all that loud either. What's also new is the 48-volt hybrid system. That is not new technology from Mercedes-Benz, but it is new for this E-Class. So we do have that hybrid assistance in the background. There's no settings for it. There's nothing you really configure with it. It's just in the background. Slower speed situations, things like that. We have the engine start stop, which is also kind of going to help with that system a little bit. But that's in the background, but it also adds some more power too. So we do have an increase in horsepower. But as far as driving the E-Class, this is a smaller size sedan, but it's very nice. So if you're looking for a smaller vehicle, something to maybe drive in the city or tighter spots a little bit better, this is a smaller size, but it's still going to give you that Mercedes-Benz ride and feel. We have a very smooth driving vehicle. I can hear a little bit of tire noise on this road. It's not the smoothest road, but the ride itself is very nice. Now we are in sport mode at the moment. So if I go into the shortcuts here, go into comfort, it will get a little bit more comfortable, of course. And sport mode, second gear, here we go. I will say, it gets up and moves for having the smaller engine here. Paddles are pretty responsive too. They're not something you're really going to use all that much. You do have to go into the screen in order to activate them. So that just kind of shows you the buyer of this vehicle may not really be using those, but if you want a little bit of sporty driving, you can activate them as needed. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the all-new Mercedes Benz E-Class. Definitely a great feel to it. This is a vehicle that you want that luxury vibe, you want something comfortable that you can drive from point A to point B. This is it. I like the practicality that we have too with folding the seats down and make it a lot more versatile. It's a pretty spacious sedan for its smaller size too. But it's nice to drive. It's just what it gives you that luxury vibe. It's what you'd expect, of course, from a Mercedes-Benz. And as far as the turning radius goes for this smaller size sedan, pretty tight. Then visibility is easy to see around, so no issues there. And it definitely has a good sound to it. I'm not sure if they have some of the exhaust piped in or not, but it doesn't sound like a 4-cylinder. Has a good sound to it. But driving the Mercedes Benz E-Class, definitely a good feel. So if you want a luxury focused vehicle, $70,000 is still a lot of money, of course, but in today's world, it's about on par, on average, with a vehicle like this that you would expect to see. So if you want that next step up in luxury, it's a great option to go with. We have the ambient lighting that runs the entire dash too, so I'm sure at nighttime that would be a very cool illumination to see. But that is going to wrap it up for the all-new 2024 Mercedes Benz E350. Once again, huge shout out to Mercedes-Benz Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.